Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kim with Creative Crafticality, and today I want to show you some of my favorite handmade photo Christmas cards that I've made throughout the years. And then also at the end of this video, I wanted to show you how I make this year's Christmas card, which is this one right here. And if you're following me over on Instagram, you would have seen a sneak peek of this as I was starting them. So first I will go through, I think I have about 10 different styles of cards here, and they all have a picture within them. But this is kind of a tradition that I do every year. I have about 75 to 80 people on my Christmas list. I know that's a lot, but we've moved several times. We have family, friends from all different places that we've lived. So that is just one way I can keep in touch with them every year and also incorporate my love for paper crafting. So first off, I'll just start down here at the bottom. This one was pretty easy. I just cut out a circle. You can use a Cricut or any kind of circle cutting tool. I believe I used my Creative Memories cutting system for this. I created a little story about our family, talking about each person in our family, and just printed that out and cut it a square, and then I mounted it on top of some red gingham paper that was cut a little bit smaller than my outside piece. On this side, I had my husband, or I think maybe I made this in Microsoft Word, but you can, I had to do it circular, of course, so it was, I believe, maybe in Photoshop or Microsoft Word, I'm not sure, but we made a little collage picture of our family, and those are our pets, and then my daughter here who's a dancer. And then I just added this ribbon at the top, so whoever received it, if they wanted to, they could put it on their tree as an ornament. So that one was pretty easy. Love that one. Here's another one. Our daughter is a dancer, as I said, and I found this really cute soldier stamp there, and she was in the Nutcracker almost for several years every year. But this one is just a little folder kind of card that opens up. On this side, she was the soldier for the Nutcracker that year. I stamped a sentiment, and then I added a couple other pictures from that year and our family picture. So that was that one. I really love how that turned out. This one is pretty easy, just a standard card in the front. I layered up some cardstock, some printed scrapbook paper, stamped the sentiment up at top here, and added some little fasteners at the top. And then we have our family picture there. This was a rubber stamp, another stamped image over here, and then we signed it. So really love that one. Here is another one. I decided to go with a more natural theme this year and snowmen. So I had my daughter draw this picture. She's an artist as well. So she drew this picture, and I just shrunk it down and added it on the front there with some burlap and some twine. I stamped some snowflakes there, and then I made a collage again, probably in Photoshop, and added all our family pictures. And that year we did family pictures with her in her ballet costume. So I thought that one turned out really cute. Okay, this one was from a long time ago, but I wanted to show it to you anyways because I like the idea. This ties up with some twine and a couple fasteners on the front. I used just some, it's really thin scrapbook paper, but it had this cute little Santa border there. So I was able to cut a couple different pieces of like I took one 12 by 12 sheet of scrapbook paper and cut it in probably two, and then folded it in thirds, put my daughter's little portrait picture here on the side with our cat. On this side was our sentiment that I just printed out, and then on this center here we have our family picture, but then I attached a picture that I had my daughter drew of our family, and she was probably 7 in this picture, 6 or 7, but I just thought it was cute because she drew us herself, and this is her my twin baby. So I just thought that was adorable, and then our cat. So that's just a way you can add more pictures. Just make it a little folder style. Alright, and then this one was pretty easy. It has a red base. I have a die that cuts this square shape out, so I did that with the craft paper. Added a deer die cut, stamped out Merry Christmas. I added this craft and red ribbon around it, and then did another collage and had them printed out with our family picture, our daughter, and our dog and cat. This was actually last year's card. And then this one I think is one of my favorites. I made a collage in Photoshop with the tree and just added a whole bunch of pictures in there, mostly of our daughter. And then I have a white card base, and then I mounted this brown square. The tree's mounted on the turquoise color. Had another strip of the turquoise here at the top. A little sentiment that I stamped, a very Merry Christmas, that's on a little tag with some ribbon. And then there's also this ribbon trim in the back there that has some sequins in the middle. It's really pretty. And then I just stamped it on the inside, wishing you all the magic and joy of the holidays. So love that. Here is one that is a little more complicated. Some years I make more complicated than others, but I love this. We were into Frozen this year. Our daughter drew Olaf for me, and I scanned him in and shrunk him down to the size that I wanted. This is like a step card, and it will sit up like that. Well, in theory. You have to unfold this part back here, but you just set it up and it'll sit, oops, I'll show you like that. So super cute. I will try and link a tutorial for this, but it's basically you cut, I'll kind of fold it out here. You cut a piece of paper, cut the left side all the way down, and then you cut off the section back here, and then you fan fold this part. And then you have these different layers that you can glue pieces on. So I glued the Olaf here. I glued this part, which was the sentiment. I had just printed this onto this white cardstock, and then I trimmed it to make it look like snow. On this side, I layered some sparkly blue and silver paper, added a snowflake, a little Merry Christmas, and then on the back, I mounted our picture onto some printed cardstock, and then that was on top, or it was printed scrapbook paper, and then on top of some white cardstock, and that was glued on the last little mountain there. So yeah, that one a little more complicated, but I just love the way that turned out. And then the last idea was another simple idea for this year. I have a burgundy base. I glued on some plaid scrapbook paper, and then I cut a circle of navy blue paper and stamped and embossed some burgundy glittery embossing powder of this plaid tree there. Tied it off with some ribbon, and on the inside I just stamped Merry Christmas and then glued our family picture on the inside and added a little bit, like a strip of the plaid on the inside. So that is that idea. And then I'll show you my last idea, which is for this year. I don't have the pictures yet because I haven't taken the pictures. I have to do that when we go visit our daughter in college for the next weekend. So this one is a small, this will fit in a note card size envelope. And this is the one I'll be showing you how to do, so stick around for that if you'd like to know how to make this. So it is tied up with this gingham, black gingham ribbon, and so you can just pull that off. This folds out like that. You can put your picture on the inside, your sentiment on one of the sides. I haven't done that yet. I'm still trying to figure out if I just want to write it with like white gel pen or paint pen, or print out a little square or something to stick there. But I have a Cricut file for you. I actually have scoring lines on my Cricut file. So all you have to do is, load up your file and it will cut your base. And then I also have the pieces here to cut out your scrapbook paper, and then this part here as well as these parts. So everything is here. I just purchased the scoring stylus. I have an Explorer Air 2 which uses a scoring stylus, and there's actually a holder for that. There's 2 holders on the Explorer Air 2 if you don't have one, and the left side is for the scoring stylus. I've tried using it and it doesn't score. I don't know what the deal is, if the point isn't long enough, if the pressure isn't hard enough. And I've changed the settings, several different settings, and it doesn't work. I have added taped pennies to it to make it heavier, hoping that would work. I read that online somewhere. Let's see, what else have I tried? I've done everything that they've said to do as far as installing it and all that, and it just doesn't work. So I have an email out to Cricut to find out what can be done for that, or if they just need to replace it with something else. I don't know. But in the meantime, for the tutorial, I'll just be showing you where you score your lines. And if you go over to Cricut Design Space, it will have, I'm not sure if you can print the template from Cricut Design Space, that will have it, but if you follow my tutorial, I'll have the measurements to where you have to score it. So that is it. I just glued some pieces of cardstock to these sections, the pattern paper here, and then I used some stickles and stickled some little ornaments in the burgundy glitter, and then of course I have it tied up with this. So I think this turned out really cute. It doesn't take a long time. I mean, I love paper crafting, and I do this once a year, make my cards, so I know that it's going to take some time, but I usually set it up as an assembly line sort of process. I cut everything, score everything, then I glue all these pieces down, then I move on to the next pieces and everything. So, it might be a couple nights worth of work, but I just love I love receiving cards in the mail no matter what, if they're handmade or not, but I think a handmade card is really special. So stick around and I will show you how to make this beautiful little Christmas tree card. So what you will need for this is some black cardstock, a coordinating colored cardstock, and then a coordinating scrapbook paper. So I have my black base, and then some sparkly burgundy, and then this gingham or buffalo check for my scrapbook paper. I have some coordinating ribbon. It's probably about 1 foot. And then I have some burgundy stickles there. So what you need to do is you can access the Cricut file. I'll have the link down below. You can cut 2 of the bases out on one 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock. And then what I did, since I'm making 80 of these cards, I like shut off the base and shut off everything, and then cut out as many of these as I could on paper, as many of these and this, until I had my 80 pieces. So yeah, that's what you need there. So you have these pieces, set those aside for now. This is the last thing you do, so we'll put that over there. You want to take this, and if you cannot get the file to score, or you don't have a scoring tool that works, I'll show you where to score it. Sorry. So what you want to do is put your long side up against the top there. Line it up in the corner, and you're going to score it at 1 3/4 inches. And that scores from the top point of the tree down to the bottom. So score it there. And then you're going to score it 2 inches in from that score line. So you're going to be going to 3 3/4 inches and score that. And then turn it over, and you'll do the same thing on the other end. So 1 3/4, 3 3/4, and that's it. So now you're going to fold the outside part out and then fold the inside in, just like that, and do the same on this side. Fold the inside part in, the outside part out, and now you have your card base. Comes together really nicely. Now you just want to start gluing your other pieces in here. So I like to use tacky glue. You can use a tape runner, whatever you like, a glue stick. And just start gluing on. Now if you're using tacky glue or any kind of water-based glue, you'll want to glue everything down and then stick it underneath a heavy book or something like that. That's what I usually do. I have something heavy in front of me and I just start gluing and I stick them underneath that so that the card doesn't buckle. So I'll glue that piece down. Then your picture will go here. Now this is a small picture, so I figured out the picture, the size that I want to have printed is like 3.5 by, well, this is 4 inches, and then the height is, let's see, 5 inches, 4 by 5, and then this piece is a little bit smaller, so my picture will be a little bit smaller than that. And what I do is import my picture and into Photoshop and make it the size that I want, but put it on a 4x6 base so that you can upload your picture to wherever you're going to have your picture printed out, or you can just print it directly from your computer if you have photo paper or whatever. But when I'm doing 80 cards, that uses a lot of ink, so and it usually doesn't make as good of a print than if you order it from like Costco or Walmart or wherever it is you have your pictures printed, if you do that. So, all right, so now I'm going to put these pieces down. This is thinner paper, so I'm just doing a really thin amount of glue on here. Glue that. This down. And then these pieces. Right, press it down here a little bit before I add my ribbon. Okay, and then you just have to take your ribbon and tie this up. Of course, you'll want to add your picture and your sentiment in there. But at this point, I don't have my family picture yet. That. And then the last thing is just adding the stickles, and you want to let that dry. You can add sequins or rhinestones on here as well if you have that. I just thought this was easier and faster since I was making 75 of them. To have to glue down that many rhinestones or sequins would be not so fun. And that is it. So cute. I love that. Of course, you could decorate this however you want it, but this is just how I'm doing mine for this year. Our color scheme for our pictures this year is black, white, and burgundy, of course, so that it matches the card. So yeah, that's it. I hope you liked this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Leave me a comment and subscribe. And I want you to go ahead and check out my Etsy shop. I will be having, starting November 25th through December 3rd, I'm having a Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and Cyber Monday sale. Actually spans before and after those times, but I have 20% off everything in my Etsy shop, as well as free shipping for items and orders over $35. So check that out. Go on over to my Instagram and follow me there, because I post things, I try to, almost every day, and just things I'm working on, or if I have new releases in my shop or new videos up on my YouTube channel. So glad you came along. This is Kim with Creative Crafticality. Bye. God bless.